All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What is up to all you grinders out there? Mike Carr, We the People, Richie Small, paired by Tolga, Nadesify, Hamwit, Sean Sullivan, Warren Tyler, Gator Nation. What is going on, everybody? Still playing MLB in September. Things you love to see, just like Nades and I over here. NFL season right around the corner, of course. Tambo Hoop just got off the Launch 2.0 show, talking everything we'll have over here. Very excited stuff like afternoon tiers content, stuff like that. Hey, NFL's tough. Sometimes early when Derrick Henry has 3 touchdowns at half, 100 yards, and you don't have them, got to look at those afternoon slates, 100K up top always. Very excited for the NFL streets. Free money Sunday coming up, but 10-game slate, MLB, Nades, money to be made. Pitching, interesting. Talked about a little pre-show. It's definitely a more concentrated pitching slate, spread it out in stacks for me. Again, that $3, $150 max. Tournament's still rolling on DraftKings. It's been fun experimenting with that, trying to get my process ready for NFL. But, yeah, that's how I see it. More concentrated at pitching. I will spread out stacks today. What are your initial thoughts? How is your Tuesday doing? How's Labor Day weekend over there?
Yeah, no, weekend was great. Yesterday we nailed the slate. I mean, Hamwich, our guy, shipped to FanDuel. I crushed on DraftKings. Both my cores that I posted, one on the site, one in Discord for the people, both of them printed. It was a great day. My Royals got the job done, and everyone said, oh, chalk Royals, chalk Royals. Well, a couple of pieces of the core there, title that I had in the core. One guy was 1%, the other guy was 12%, and both of them are value plays. Popped off. Justin Steele was my favorite pitcher on the slate yesterday. He absolutely nuked. I had 100% Justin Steele, 100% Merrill Kelly, and they got the job done. Obviously, the cheap guy there also did his job there. I mean, that was just a joke price point there for him, for those Royals. But, yeah, great slate. We got a nice little 10-gamer here. Hopefully, put some more cheese in our pockets, title, before this nice showdown slate that we got coming up here. I love the showdown. Showdown's very, very profitable in NFL for me. Way more profitable last year for me. Not even just counting the big hit, right? The $50,000 hit that I had. Just overall in general, I just like showdown. I like the game theory. So we'll have that covered. And a little piece of nugget came out, right? Little hyper extension for Mr. Travis Kelce. The big news that broke. Man, it won't be NFL season without injury reports already starting to roll out. And I'm assuming we got a nice $200 punt tight end value play that we always love to see on those showdown slates. So we'll talk about that. But we got baseball first. September baseball leading into the playoffs here. Should be a fun little stretch. Always money to be made.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll have you covered. All of our content for showdown will be on the site. Hoop, Tambo, myself, talking NFL showdown Mondays, Thursdays. Nades and Hamwich covers us on Sundays. Hamwich noticed that hair. Yeah, things you love to see / hate to see, Ham. I wanted mullet season. Engagement photos next month. That had to be pushed off for next time. So haircut, though, leading into the NFL year is getting a little too long. Appreciate that like button. Appreciate that subscribe button, as always, out there. And, of course, our blast-off bundle, Tambo and Hoop, just talked about it again, but no better time to join us at ShipItNation.com. So much NFL content to go along with MLB still going on. We'll still have shows Monday through Friday. NBA will be here before you know it. NHL, we got projections. We got ownership. Core plays, access to us and knowledgeable members in Discord. Such a great community in there. And I will mention, or shout out to our partner at Drafters as well. If you're not over there, chase that overlay. $20 can get you $300,000. $20 to $100, they'll match 100%. So you put in $100, they give you $100. Can do $10, $20 drafts. They are still going on right there. But what I was going to say is, if you see me looking down at my phone, it is because DraftKings, I think I just got one. Yep, you're on the clock. 10 minutes the slow drafts are down to. So that caught me off guard this morning. I got auto-picked, I think, on a couple. Every 10 minutes when you're on the clock, it is brutal out there in the streets. So, Nades, I'm going to throw it to you at pitching right away. My man Zim in chat. Ship incoming indeed. Breakdown, let me look at this. I got to get my draft. Let's go 8K and above on this 10-game slate. So Garrett Cole, obviously the mega chalk at 12K. It's way up there in price, though. Chris Bassett, Valdez, Dylan Cease, Dean Kramer, a couple names up there, 8K and above. What are you doing on this slate?
Yeah, I think it's interesting here. Obviously, Garrett Cole gets these Tigers, best strikeout matchup on the board. Checks out. The only issue is he is $12,000. It is very good hitting weather, I believe, is well there in Yankee Stadium. I mean, super hot. Some slight wind kind of blowing out to left field a little bit, 90-plus degrees there. So it's pretty good weather, but it is still the Tigers. So Garrett Cole, all things considered, definitely I like him. Even at his ownership, I mean, if you can afford him, he's a great play. But if you do want to stack the Braves, you want to stack some of these other offenses on the slate. The Cubs, obviously, in a win game there in Wrigley. It's super warm out in Wrigley, wind blowing out. They got some expensive bats. It's not just so easy, right? There is a salary cap when you come build lineups on DraftKings, and 12K is an expensive price point. Garrett Cole does struggle with some home run balls. Obviously, you got Spencer Torkelson in there. G. Risen stroking his meat still with 2 rookie cards, 1 in each hand over there on them. But he does struggle with some home runs. So if he can limit that, I think he obviously has the highest ceiling on the slate by far. You just have to build a different roster construction because you can't afford the Braves. You can't afford some of the big Cubs bats, things like that. So I do like him. Chris Bassett, I didn't play Barrios yesterday in this same matchup. I think I'm going to be off a Bassett hound as well here. Everyone just kind of blindly goes in there and just stacks these pitchers, plays these pitchers against these Athletics. I don't know, man. He's 9,700. Strikeout rate is below league average. I mean, he's got a 21.9% K rate on the season. Yeah, he does have a plus matchup right here for strikeouts with these Athletics, but I mean, he's going to be 25 to 30% owned as well. If I'm spending up, I think I'd rather just find the extra money and go all the way up to Cole and then deal with Bassett here in this mid-tier. Out on Framber against Texas. I'm not going to attack Texas on the slate. So no interest in him. Dylan Cease against Kansas City. That's interesting. It's very, very hot in Kauffman Stadium again. I stacked the Royals yesterday. I think I'm off Dylan Cease as well. So, I mean, to me, it's pretty tight pitching pool for me. I mean, it's some of these cheaper guys that we're going to talk about. And if I'm going up top, I'm just going all the way up top for the guy that can break the slate, right? Has the most upside because it's not like any of these other guys up here that I have interest in. You're getting a huge ownership discount in. So I'd rather just go all the way up to the top and Garrett Cole. Really no other interest in any of these other guys. Kyle Hendricks not doing that in the win game there in Wrigley. I get it. It's Giants. It's a great matchup. Justin Steele was my favorite pitcher yesterday, but it's Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks doesn't really strike anybody out. Great hitting conditions. So I'm out on him. Dean Kramer against the Angels. I think Dean Kramer might be fine. I mean, he'll be around 20% ownership. I've been a Dean Kramer guy. Pretty solid matchup here. Obviously, the Angels, right? All the stuff came out where they were they traded everyone and then released everyone a couple weeks ago. So I think ranking this range, it's Garrett Cole number 1 for me. Dean Kramer's probably my second favorite. If I had to pick a third, it would be Bassett, but I think I'm going to be under on Bassett for sure. Definitely under on Dylan Cease. So really, I mean, Dean Kramer and Garrett Cole up here at the top for me.
Yeah, this range really easy for me. Yeah, and 10-minute clocks are nightmares, Marley. There's no doubt about that. But this range is easy. So Evaldi, no thank you. First start back in a while. Framber against Texas, no thanks. Lorenzen, no thank you against San Diego. And Kyle Hendricks, easy fade there. So there's 4 guys for me: Cole, Bassett, Cease, and Kramer. And it's easily Cole 1, Bassett 2. Cole's definitely 1. Bassett and Kramer are 2 when you're taking into the $1,100 difference for me. And Dylan Cease is definitely number 4. Why I do like Bassett, Kramer, Cease is, well, Bassett's got extreme pitchers umpire behind the dish, as well as Cease. Cease and Kramer, all 3 of them do. Bill Miller for Cease, Kuzi for Bassett, and then this Doug Eddings guy for Dean Kramer. Don't think Ohtani's going to be in the lineup. I'd be really shocked if he was for the Angels. So, I mean, this Angels lineup is terrible when you look at it. I think Kramer, he's done well for us as of late, and I don't think this is a slate where you need 30 at both pitching spots. Like yesterday, like you needed Steele, like Reagan's put up a good number, and it still wasn't enough. There's Merrill Kelly on the slate. Like I don't think that this slate is like that one, where if Kramer gets you 18 points, that's fine. And his downside is like he just doesn't have that 10K plus upside performance, 100 plus pitches, goes late into games. But 5.5K prop, pretty much even money. I'm good with that, assuming no Ohtani in the lineup. Cease has been all over the place. It's a fourth. Again, it's extreme pitchers umpire for a guy that struggles with control, and a solid K prop at 6.5. I think the ownership will be pretty low too. So I'm good chasing the upside there, but I think you can easily make a case for Royals too. Cease has been awful. Cole and Bassett, definitely my favorites. Cole, I mean, tier of his own, 7.5K prop, juice on the over, umps neutral, great match against the Tigers. He has the pitch count, like everything you want from Cole. I'm definitely playing him. I'm eating the chalk. I said I would be more concentrated at pitching than hitting. There's plenty of ways to get different at bats. So Cole there. And then Bassett. I mean, Oakland's just so good to pick on. Pitchers Park. Again, extreme pitchers umpire behind the dish for him. Should have some run support. 9.7K. Like, it's still 2.3K difference from Cole. So if you can't get there, you go down to Bassett. I'm good going builds there. But yeah, Cole, Bassett, Creamer, Cease is how I rank them. Let's go 8K and below, though, Nades. Brandon Pfaadt will be one of the most popular pitchers on DraftKings. I think it'll be a Cole-Pfaadt pairing at 6.9K. Oakland, Colorado, two teams you love to see when you're playing pitchers on the other side. 6.5K prop, pretty crazy there. Brady Singer, Reed Detmers, two other names I'll throw it at you. I think they get a little bit of ownership. What are you doing in this range, 8K and below?
Yeah, I'll start up at the top. Brady Singer is one of my favorite pitchers on the slate. Gets this White Sox team. Brady Singer's been incredible at home. I get it. It is good weather in Kauffman Stadium. But I think Brady Singer might be in line for the win here. I think I like the Royals better than I like the White Sox side. Obviously, I don't account for the win too much because that's just bonus points. But, I mean, his last couple starts at home, 26, 28, 22, 17, 21. I mean, if he gets me those in that realm, which he has been at 7,900 against the White Sox team, that there is strikeouts in this lineup. I like that. So I love Brady Singer here. Reed Detmers is going to get a lot of ownership here. I just hate picking on the Orioles team. Orioles have a pretty good implied run total as well. I would rather just go to $300 up to Brady Singer, to be honest. Reed Detmers. I mean, I'm seeing Reed Detmers coming in higher owned right now for sure. Brady Singer's probably going to pick up some ownership, but again, people need some salary because they're already going to play Cole at the top. If they don't play Cole, they're going to play Bassett Hound there, and then they're going to grab Brandon Pfaadt. I do like Brandon Pfaadt. It's just, man, this Rockies team is just absolutely horrendous. You got three guys in the middle of that lineup striking out 35, 42, 46, 34. I mean, it is bright red on our sheet title looking at that lineup for strikeouts. I get it. Brandon Pfaadt isn't the greatest strikeout guy, but he still has a 21% strikeout rate on the season, and now gets a lineup that strikes out 32% of the time against right-handers on the road outside of Coors Field. I mean, sign me up for that. So I that's chalk I'm willing to eat. I would not pair him with Garrett Cole. A lot of people are going to do that, especially, and they're probably going to play Brandon Pfaadt, Garrett Cole, and either play San Francisco or the Mets, to be honest with you, is kind of how the roster construction looks to go when you go that right. So I actually like grabbing two of these cheaper guys, like a Brady Singer Pfaadt combination or a Brady Singer Dean Kramer pairing, right? Because you can still afford some big bats. You get a little bit discount on total ownership in terms of your roster construction. So that's where I'm going. I like Brady Singer, like Brandon Pfaadt. Really, outside of that, I mean, I'm not dealing with too many of these guys down here. I mean, Ken Waldichuk, I guess, maybe. He would be okay at 5,800. Really, I don't think pitching is going to win the slate. I think offense is going to win the slate here. So you're really just trying to survive, especially at SP2 here. So Ken Waldichuk, I think, is fine. Patrick Corbin, I mean, I'm not a Patrick Corbin guy. Everyone kind of blindly stacks. That's why the Mets are going to be one of the highest owned stacks. So, I mean, three guys, really. Brady Singer, Brandon Pfaadt, Ken Waldichuk if you're absolutely punting, but really I don't love it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, great breakdown. Eric Garcia, appreciate those words. We appreciate you. Hope everything going well. Yeah, down below for pitching, I have similar thoughts as you. There's only four names, I guess. There's Singer, Reed Detmers, Brandon Pfaadt, and if I had to throw out another one, if you wanted to just get away at cheap, Ken Waldichuk, 5.8K. Again, extreme pitchers umpire behind the dish. All those four pitchers I named. Singer gets Bill Miller, extreme pitchers umpire. Detmers gets Eddings, extreme pitchers umpire. Pfaadt's got a neutral ump behind the dish, and Waldichuk has Kuzi, which is extreme pitchers umpire. So pretty much all the pitchers I like today have somewhat of a favorable umpire. Singer against the White Sox. I mean, we like picking on the White Sox the whole time. I don't love it though. Like him and Detmers are tough for me. If Detmers is 2 times his own, which he very well could be, I prefer just going Brady Singer there. But I mean, Detmers has looked bad. I don't think Singer has the most upside. Like, he's not going 7+ innings, 100+ pitches either. Detmers has a full K prop higher with a lot of juice. I think I prefer Detmers and chasing the upside, but I think Singer and Detmers are fine there. Again, I think you could play the White Sox and you could play Baltimore too. So saw someone talking about that. Fott's definitely the best. The Rockies are just so bad. Fott has been good. Great K prop at 6.5 for the price. If you eat, like, this is a slate I do believe you could go Cole Fott. It's not a rule I'm setting to exclude them because it's a 10-game slate. There's 20 teams. A lot of teams have implied totals of like 4.5 or higher. A random 1% owned team can break a slate or get different at the bottom of some lineup or something. So Chalk at pitching looks pretty good to me today. I'd rather get different at bats. Waldichuk, if you want to go all the way down, how I'd rank the bottom tier though, it'd be Fott, Detmers, Singer. How we rank pitcher total though. I'll go first, Nades. We'll go top 4 today. I'm gonna go Cole 1. I'll go Bassett 2 with the ownership. Detmers 3, Fott 4. But I mean, obviously that's because I didn't want to put Cole and Fott 1, 2. I mean, I agree they are top 1 and 2 on the slate. I do prefer eating the chalk with Cole over Fott, even with the price. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Brady Singer. I'm seeing him like 6 to 8% ownership right now. I'm seeing Reed Detmers at like 25 to 30%. So if that stays true, which I think it is going to, give me Brady Singer in a vacuum all day at that. So I like him. I like the ownership there. I'll go Garrett Cole number 2, Brandon Fott 3, and then my 4th guy really is just the complete punt in Ken Waldichuk if you need salary. To be honest, I'm kind of taking my chances on those couple of pitchers there. Playing 2 teams tonight, going to chase some of those qualifiers and stuff for some of those Millie tickets. That's where I'm rolling, and I'm gonna play some different bats around it.
I like it. We the people. Oof, Detmers, no thanks. Hey, I don't blame you one bit, man. If I'm trying to get a little different, I'll take the upside with Detmers, but very well could have a negative spot. Some O's are interesting too. We'll touch on that, but game by game, that was pitching. Great stuff as always, Nades. If you want to see Nade's core plays, if you want to see in the Discord, sometimes he puts up a secondary core in there as well. Head over to ShipItNation.com. Also see who Hoop is on in the slate plan and core plays. Hamlet, who just shipped yesterday. G Ryzen. Play cash games. We got you covered. Ownership, projections, proprietary tools, stack rankings, hitter rankings, pitcher rankings. Everything you need in the MLB streets, NFL streets, everything. Head over ShipItNation.com. $59 a month or the Blast Off bundle, $321. Takes you to about $53 a month. Get in the Discord. 10 games, Nades. Buckle in. First game of the night. We got the Detroit Tigers, New York Yankees. Alex Fado, Garrett Cole on the mound. 90 degrees in New York. Pretty warm here. Obviously, Garrett Cole, one of the most popular pitchers on the slate. No thank you to the Tigers. I do not care about the leverage. And talk about the Yankees. Pretty good team total. Good hitting weather. Sign me up, Fado. I mean, he's all right. Nothing special, though. Tigers bullpen behind, nothing scary. I'm good with some of these Yankees. Are they my favorite stack on the slate? No. Of course, Aaron Judge, though. Arguably the top bat on the slate. I don't know. I like some other spots more, but because the bottom of the order is very cheap, you get Jason Dominguez right in the 3 spots. 3K, 2 homers the last 3 games. They're cheap. You can spend up at pitching and still play them, but other teams I personally like more. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, the only bat I'll bring out for the Tigers is Spencer Torkelson. Garrett Cole struggles a little bit against righty power, and Torkelson over the last month has been crushing the baseball. Great weather there. He'll be unowned, especially at 4,800 at the first base, because when you're stacking teams like the Mets, you want Alonso, right? The Giants are going to get some ownership. The Cubs are going to get some ownership. The Braves, right? You got big-time bats in there. You're not going to leave one of those first basemen off. So Spencer Torkelson, I think, is the elite one off on the slate. Tons of leverage there. Garrett Cole has given up right around a 200 ISO to opposing righties over the last month. So he does struggle with some home runs. He still could go out there and strike out 12 of these Tigers and give up a home run or 2 to Torkelson. And if you have them, that's how you differentiate in lineup. So that's the only bat I would have interest there. And then the Yankees side, I think they're fine. I mean, they do have a good implied run total. Obviously, Aaron Judge. I mean, Aaron Judge smashes every hand in this, no matter where he's in the lineup. So I think he's fine. He is 6,700. Much rather just pay for Ronald Acuna at that similar price point when you consider stolen base upside, things like that. I love the Braves here tonight, which feels a little bit different. I haven't been on the Braves in about a week and a half, 2 weeks or so, if it feels like. So I do like that. But, yeah, I'm kind of overall under on these Yankees. Jason Dominguez, obviously an incredible prospect, one of the best things. That's all you heard about the last couple of years is Dominguez coming up, right? He's finally in there batting third behind Judge. So he should get some pitches to hit, being sandwiched behind between Judge, Torres, and Stanton. So 3K flat, I think, for him with his talent. I mean, he's a great one-off too, great stack piece. So prefer the Yankee side, but I'm a little bit under on the Yankees. I just never really play the Yankees too much, to be honest with you. They're going to get some ownership, but I don't think the ownership matters. So if you have a lean on them, like the Yankees, I think they're fine because they're not going to be super chalky.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get too much ownership. And that's the thing. Like, you want to go a Cole Fod and play a 5-man Yankee stack? Like, sign me up for that over trying to get way different at pitching, go Waldichuk, Detmers or something like that, and then eat the chalk at bat. So I prefer the Yankees as a mini. Judge, Dominguez, obviously the best ones, but Stanton, of course, has power. DJ swinging a little hotter stick as of late. So, yeah, Yankees are fine. It is a 10-game slate, though. You can't play everyone. So we'll keep it rolling. We'll rank stacks at the end of the slate. Yeah, we do appreciate that like button. Almost 200 watching. Not even 50 likes yet. Not going to lie. A little hurtful. We got some time, though. Appreciate it. As always, let's keep it rolling, Nades. Talk about chalk, though. I think New York Mets, Washington Nationals. I think the Mets are the chalk on the slate. Over 90 degrees in Washington. Jose Quintana, Patrick Corbin on the mound. Wind not really a factor, blowing in a little bit. But obviously, anytime you see Patrick Corbin on the mound, Mets a solid team total. But why I think they'll be the chalk is no bat above 5K. Pete Alonso is 5K. Other than that, though, Lindor is 4.9. But Francisco Alvarez at catcher, 3.5K. Vientos at third, 2.5. Like, there's so many cheap pieces in this lineup. Corbin, someone we like to attack. Great hitting weather. Guaranteed ninth inning at bats. I definitely like the Mets. I think I prefer them. I don't know. I'll let you start with this one, Nades. If they're going to be head and shoulders above the rest on a 10-game slate, it's like, why? But if everyone's going to say the same thing, and there's so many, like the Braves, the Yankees, there's other good teams with good team totals on the slate. If everyone's just going to say that and it's kind of similar ownership, then you can maybe play reverse psychology or whatever and get overweight on the Mets. Curious to hear your thoughts. Then I need Nats for you.
Yeah, I do think the Mets come to 3 to 5% total ownership higher than anyone else in the slate. At least that's what I'm seeing now. Because the second highest owned team, at least that from what I'm seeing right now, is the Giants. And everyone always hates playing the Giants, right, with all the pinch hit concerns and stuff. So I think people, especially once they're building teams, they look at this lineup and see all these price points. I mean, you got your your 5-spot hitter at $2,500 with some power. Your 3-hole hitters, $3,600. Pete Alonso, I think, is one of the best bats on the entire slate when you factor in you factor in salary and the upside. I mean, Patrick Corbin is Patrick Corbin. He struggles with home runs. It's very, very good hitting weather there. And Pete Alonso's got above a 900 ISO in his last 20 at-bats over the last month against left-handed pitching. So he's probably he's probably my top bat on the entire slate. If you want to talk about a really good mini stack that I love is Francisco Lindor and Alonso. You don't play any of these cheap bats. You grab those two guys, 2-4 stack there, both tons of upside, tons of power. They're both going to have ownership respectively by themselves and in stacks. But if you don't play any of these cheap guys around them and you go to a different 5-man stack than these Mets, I think that's a very, very good way to do it. So I love Alonso. I love Lindor. The other guys are fine. But Mets are going to get a ton of ownership. And stacking against Patrick Corbin, yeah, everyone kind of blindly does it. But Tito, it feels like over the last year or so, I mean, Patrick Corbin just goes out there and kind of game manages a little bit, just doesn't absolutely get shelled. So I'm a little bit under on the full stack for the Mets. Obviously, the great plays, but the highest owned team on an offense that has scuffled and hasn't been incredible, I think I'll take my chances and just go mini stacks. Pete Alonso, Lindor, far and away my two favorite.
Yeah, I like it. Andrew Martinez, crazy to stack the Nats. I don't think it's crazy. I don't know. I don't like it as a 5-man. I will say that 10-game slate, 20 teams. A lot of teams have plenty of upside.
One guy I do want to call out for the Nats. I do want to call it Riley Adams. Your boy there, Title. In the 4-hole, the cleanup spot, 3,400. I think he's a great play there. Get some power. Obviously, you got Keibert Ruiz right there at the same position, but you save a little bit of money there. Riley Adams in the cleanup spot. I like him quite a bit there.
I mean, I'm good with any 1 through 9 because of how cheap they are as a mini stack. Like whatever fits. You have your 5-man. If you like Cole, Fott, you plug in 5 Yankees, and you hardly have any salary, and you got to go to the Nats. Like Jacob Young batting leadoff at 2-3. You mentioned Riley Adams, Vargas, multi-position eligible, 2.8K. Like a lot of these guys are cheap. I don't like the upside enough as a 5-man. Quintana limits power. So that's my answer there. More as a mini to fill out lineups. Quintana been dynamite, as big old Ham says. Ham absolutely been on fire again. Shipped yesterday. Head over to Shipping Nation. Check who he is on in the FanDuel streets. Let's keep it rolling. Next game, St. Louis Cardinals, Atlanta Braves. Miles Mikolas, Mike Soroka on the mound, 85 degrees in Atlanta, 10.5 total. So the Braves, highest team total on the slate, above 6. Ownership going to be kind of in check, though. Again, they are very expensive as always. Pitching, people want to spend up for Cole. There's enough cheap bats or cheap pitchers. People are definitely going to play the Braves, but it's not like they're going to be mega chalk by any means. And Soroka, who knows how long he's going to go. Then you get the bullpen behind his first start back in a while. There's other spots I like more. I think the Cardinals fall in the Nat spot for me where mini stacks, but 5-mans I don't like as much. I don't know. Not much interest on that side. What do you see?
Yeah, Braves, my favorite stack of the day, which it's been a little bit since I stacked them. Obviously, a 5-man freaking Kansas City yesterday. The bottom half of the order in Kansas City. The chalkiest bat in that lineup that hurt pretty brutal was Salvi Perez there. He was the chalkiest bat and gave you a 2 spot, and that's what we continue to preach on this show, right? Even the chalkiest team, I had a 1% on bat in there. I had a 12% on bat in there. Value guys in the bottom of the order in the exact same matchup that the top of the order guys face. And realistically, the whole lineup's going to get 4 at bats, right? That's what at least 4 at bats. That's what you're hoping for. So that just goes to show you there's ways to get lower ownership in baseball with the back half. Braves for me, 1 through 9 firmly in play. Mikolas just doesn't strike anyone out. Gets hit for a ton of power, both sides of the plate. Struggles more with fly balls to the right side, so I like some of the righties more. Obviously, Ronald Acuna, Austin Riley, Marcelo Ozuna, and Rosario, the 5-6 there. Those are 2 of my favorite bats on the slate right there. Rosario's been great over the last month. Same thing with Ozuna. I like both of those guys. Sean Murphy in the 7 spot, that expensive at the catcher position, is going to be low owned because obviously he's not a great lineup position, and he's 5,000 for a catcher. So I like him. Michael Harris, obviously 1 through 9 firmly in play. Braves, my top stack, and their ownership's going to be in check, right? Because Garrett Cole's 12K. You look at this lineup for the Braves; they're all super expensive. Outside of Nicky Lopez, they're all 4K, 4,500 or above. You got Rosario at 4K and Lopez at 3,300. Outside of that, it's 4,500 or above. So needed to make some sacrifices. That's why I'm going cheap at pitcher. I already gave the points on Fott and Singer and some of those Dean Kramer. Some of those other guys I like. So Braves, I'm riding the Braves train. 5-man today. Love them all. Matt Olson, I think, is great, but I'm actually toying with a little way to 5-man these Braves and get Pete Alonso in there over Matt Olson. Make it a little bit different there. I already talked about Pete Alonso, one of my favorite bats on the entire slate. So that's one way you can get different. Leave Matt Olson out of your Brave stacks, and you could probably get up to Acuna as well if you do that.
Good breakdown, yeah. So Nathan and I are a little different here. He'll pick the Braves over spending up at pitching. I prioritize Cole, Bassett more than I will the Braves, but I like it for sure. I like the Braves. You get cheap pitching right. Hopefully the Braves do come through. We'll keep it rolling, though. Plenty of spots left on the slate. I prefer the Mets, who are cheaper. I prefer the Yankees a little bit, who are cheaper. But, yeah, no doubt, Mikolas. Braves are going to put the ball in play. What are they going to do with it is the question. Hopefully for you, not another 15-hit, 3-run type of night or whatever it was in Coors that one day. But next game on the slate, Wrigley win game, San Francisco Giants, Chicago Cubs. Ryan Walker as the opener, and then it looks like Sean Manaea coming in after. Kyle Hendricks on the mound for Chicago. It's warm, 80 degrees. What does Ross says? Like the warm, humid, and winds blowing out, the trifecta or something. We know Wrigley win games, whether it's in or out. It does play very strongly. Today, great hitting weather. Kyle Hendricks, who doesn't strike out anybody. So doesn't allow tons of power, but doesn't strike out many bats. And then Sean Manaea on the other side, sign me up for any righties against him. Lefties will be more contrarian. You can always play Bellinger. I mean, he's going to be sub 5%, over 6K, one of the highest team totals on the slate. Plenty of ways to get different with the Cubs going lefty-lefty. Definitely a great game, though. I'll let you take it away. I just saw another best ball draft pop up for me. So what do you see in this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you get your best ball taken care of. You need to go back to back there. But yeah, both sides are firmly in play. Both sides are going to get ownership. 90 plus degrees, hot and humid in Chicago with double-digit wind blowing out, and two pitchers that struggle with strikeouts, and especially Manaea struggles with control. He walks double-digit to both sides of the plate, gives up a ton of power and a ton of fly balls to the right side of the plate. So I prefer the righties for these Cubs. Obviously, Nico Horner, Dansby Swanson, Sia Suzuki is one of the best plays on the entire slate at 3,500. He's been incredible over the last month. He's going to get a lot of ownership, I think, for the Cubs. But 3,500 is too cheap for him, especially against Manaea and whoever comes in after him. Candelario, Yan Gomes, Christopher Morel. Morel, if you want an unknown guy in this Cubs lineup, especially if he's confirmed hitting ninth, where he's projected right now, third base, outfield eligible, 4,800. He's got tons of power. He struggles with strikeouts, but nobody's going to play him at 4,800 hitting ninth. I'll tell you that right now. He'll be 3% owned. So that's one way to get different there. Love the Cubs, love the Giants. I prefer the Cubs side just because I hate dealing with this Giants team in terms of pinch hits. But I would say the righties that start the game are probably pretty safe. So if Estrada, Mitch Haniger, JD Davis start the game, which they're projected to start right now, I think they're pretty safe. And then obviously the lefties, you don't know. I mean, I haven't looked at the Cubs bullpen usage or anything like that to look at their lefties that they have in that pen. So I would say Giants are fine. I definitely prefer the Cubs side. I just don't want to deal with all the pinch hit. I mean, we've seen these guys pinch hit in the second inning for these Giants. So with the uncertainty, I think they're fine. Guaranteed nothing at bats, but they're going to be higher owned. At least that's what I'm seeing than the Cubs. I'll just side with the Cubs side in the same game, same hitting conditions against Sean Manaea, who struggles with a ton of power to righties and a ton of walks.
Unfortunately, your boy Morel is not in the lineup, but yes. Other than that, definitely a good breakdown. And the Giants are tough, like you said, with pinch hit. The righties I definitely prefer because you feel that they're not going to get pinch hit for. Lockstep there. The wind, it's humid, like just the hitting weather, and I'm a big hitting atmosphere type of person in DFS. Like there's no way I'm fading it, but it's also there's other spots I think I like more. Like if the Yankees are going to be half the ownership as both these teams, that feels probably like a little better spot. The Braves are probably going to be a lower own. That's interesting there. So I do prefer the Cubs side, not dealing with the pinch hit risk. Sean Manaea I think is worse than Hendricks, but hey, who's even to say we're going to see Manaea? He's been the potential long reliever before and him not even enter the game. But yeah, a great game to target for bats. I prefer the Cubs side a little bit. It's a 10-game slate, though. Ownership is going to rise throughout the day. Like a lot Mets right now, the clear chalk. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Cubs or Giants eat into some of that Mets chalk because people like playing Wrigley win games, just like people like
so
playing
I see the Cubs. I see the Cubs actually super low projected ownership right now. And I'm seeing the Giants pushing up there. So, I mean, that's kind of why I prefer the Cubs. But I think it is going to – the closer people get, they're going to play more of these Cubs. But I just don't think it matters, to be honest, too much.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't fade. Yeah, if you like the Cubs, I'm definitely not saying fade them because of it. I just think, yeah, maybe if you look around at projected ownership a little more – or if you look around at projected ownership right now, they might come in a little higher owned than what the industry kind of is saying. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, Cubs, Giants, you like either side, play it. Ownership-wise in this one, just don't play Mets, Fott, and Cole. Like that seems like the clear chalk today. So get a little different, go to the bottom of the order, stuff we always talk about. Think about the tournaments you're in, how much pays the first place, all of that good stuff. But we'll keep it rolling. Like button, always appreciated. Chicago White Sox, Kansas City Royals, Dylan Cease, Brady Singer, 90 degrees in KC. Singer going to get a little ownership. I mean, Singer and Cease both going to get a little ownership, but maybe like 10%. So it's not like you're getting a bunch of leverage stacking against them. The White Sox, decent team total. Royals as well, 9.5. Interesting side. The Royals will be higher owned, I believe. But you can tell me if I'm wrong and what you're eyeing up in this game.
Yeah, I'm So ownership really doesn't matter between two of these things. I think the White Sox get more ownership, just guaranteed ninth inning at bats. Dylan Cease is a different name than Brady Singer, especially when you look at K rate and things like that on the season, right? But if you look at the last 30 days, right, the last month with Dylan Cease, man, he hasn't been good. He struggles with walks, especially to righties. I mean, the left side, he's walking 10% of his hitters, 18% of righties. He's struggling with walks. Tons of power, fly balls. I mean, he's not a ground ball guy, so fly ball in good weather there in Kansas City against a team who is hitting the ball a little bit right now. I mean, if you look at this lineup, 20% strikeout rate on the season against righties, right-handed pitching at home, and a team ISO of 257. So that's one of the best ISOs on the slate. Obviously, it's a little inflated there with the limited sample from Nick Lofton, who's been incredible since he's come in. He's just still 3K. I hate that they took his shortstop eligibility away. He's only second base, so you have to make a choice between him and Massey. 3,200, 3K. Definitely prefer Lofton, but I think ownership follows that as well. But either way, I mean, I got Lofton at 1% ownership yesterday in the exact same spot against the worst pitcher in the same weather. So I think he comes in right around 1 to 2% ownership again. I think he's an excellent play. Love him. Nelson Vasquez has been absolutely on fire. Called his home run yesterday. So I love him again. I think he double donged actually. He's 3,100. Love him. Drew Waters, I played him yesterday. I think I can go right back. So I definitely prefer the Royals side against Cease. Just a bet on. He struggled with control, struggled with some fly balls, and it's good hitting weather. So I'll take the chances on these Royals. Royals are kind of my low-owned team. I've been playing these Royals a lot all season long at home. Fade them on the road. I play them at home. Typically, their price points remain cheap, but definitely prefer the back half of that lineup. Olivares, Velasquez, Waters, Lofton, Massey, those guys down there. White Sox for me, I mean, sure, you can always play Luis Robert, home run hunting there, but overall, this lineup just has not been great on the road against right-handed pitching. They struggle with strikeouts. I'm on Brady Singer. I love Brady Singer at his ownership here, so I'm off the White Sox side.
Fair enough. This is my favorite game stack. If I had to pick one stack, obviously ownership, everything included, pricing, you can pay up at pitcher, you can play both sides, 90 to plus degrees. KC's been hot. My favorite game stack for sure in this one. Again, I definitely like the KC side more. No Robert in the lineup, which is unfortunate, but they are just so free. And then you can spend up for the Bobby Witts of the world, Salvi, Melendez, grades out well. Olivares, I think, was the double dong yesterday. Velasquez still got the job done. So, yeah, great hitting weather, cheap pieces. Cease has been bad. Singer maybe gets 80 pitches, or Royals bullpen behind. Sign me up for this game stack. I think it is an interesting one. What's going on, Alex Hahn? Hope everything going well with you. We got 5 games left on this slate. Keep it rolling. Next game, Houston Astros, Texas Rangers, Framber Valdez, Nathan Eovaldi. 2 good lineups and good teams, but 2 solid pitchers. Eovaldi we didn't really talk about. We skipped over him because making his first start in over a month now. No thank you for Eovaldi, but no thank you for picking against him for me. And I'm definitely not picking against Framber either. The Rangers going to be very low owned, but 6.5 for Seager, 6.1 for Semien, 5.5 for Adolis. Like, I'm playing Judge. I'm playing anybody, Acuna, anybody but those guys on a slate like this. So low owned, sure, but it's an X for me.
Yeah, I'm under on this game overall. I mean, I would prefer the Rangers side just because Framber over the last month struggled with strikeouts. I mean, strikeout rate just 17% to both sides of the plate. Struggles with some power again. Both sides are hitting for 215 ISO. So I would prefer Texas side. Corey Seager is one of the best bats right now in baseball. I mean, the dude continues to get the job done. Lefty at that price point. He'll be unowned and can always break a slate. I mean, I had him as a one-off yesterday in my secondary core that I put in the Discord that absolutely printed. So that was nice to see. Adolis Garcia typically smashes lefties. But yeah, overall under on this game on both sides.
I love it. We'll keep it rolling. Next game on the slate, Baltimore Orioles, Los Angeles Angels, Dean Kramer, Reed Detmers on the mound. Only 70 degrees in LA, wind blowing out a little bit. I like Dean Kramer, this Angels lineup. Again, don't expect Ohtani to be in there. No, thank you. I'm not playing these Angels. And as far as the Orioles, and again, of course, this is assuming you're playing 20 teams or less. If you're playing 150 and I have one Angel stack or something, yeah, that could happen if it falls in there. But if you're only playing a single entry to 3 entry max, most of you guys watching probably are. Could not imagine clicking the Angels. Baltimore side, I don't know, like your Brady Singer was my Reed Detmers, I guess. So just naturally, like I like the Yankees more if I'm going to go to the same boat as the Orioles. The Mets obviously are going to be a lot chalkier. I like both the White Sox and the Royals more than the Orioles. So I guess I'm just going to say another cross off, but I definitely get the case made for the Orioles against Detmers who can struggle. So I'll let you talk about that side. I think you're going to have some interest in the O's.
Yeah, I have some interest in the O's. I'm seeing Reed Detmer as one of the chalkiest pitchers on the slate. I think it stays that way too. Ryan Mountcastle against the lefty. I mean, the dude crushes left-handed pitching. It's just, especially on the road. I mean, 633 expected ISO against lefties on the road this season, and that's in 59 plate appearances. So pretty hefty sample there. Strikeout rate of just 12% too. So low strikeout back, going to put the ball in play, hits for a ton of power. I think he's a great one-off right there at first base. He'll be pretty low owned too. And we already talked about it. Pete Alonso. He also had Pete Alonso for all the BVP guys out there, has 5 home runs as well there. So BVP guys, you can add a little ownership boost there to those guys. Jordan Westberg, I think, is a great play here too. Second base, third base eligible, 3,500. But looking at Reed Detmers, I mean, he struggles against lefties in terms of power, but a ton of ground balls. The lefty, obviously lefty, you don't love it, but he just doesn't strike anyone out, especially over the last month. 11.5% strikeout rate, and his walk rate is actually higher over the last month than his strikeout rate. So walks a lot of guys, struggles with control, and struggles with Ks. So I don't think the O's are the craziest play, but definitely Mountcastle far and away the best bat, and I could imagine clicking any any Angels on the slate.
Yeah, no, I get it for sure. I just give me the Royals, give me the White Sox, kind of in the same boat. Again, assuming most people out there playing 3 teams or something, you play 150, you know what you're doing by now. Like button, again, we appreciate that a ton. Let's make a push for 100. 235 watching on a Tuesday in September, MLB slate, not NFL, MLB slate, NFL right around the corner. No better time to join. SHIPITNation.com. Get in the Discord if you do join. You need projections, we got them. You need ownership, we got them. Core plays, proprietary tools, cash reports, access to us in Discord. We have bets now as well. Just a partner that we had. Blanking on the name. We just had the announcement in the Discord as well, and I saw an NFL betting portion in our Discord all the way at the bottom. He posted some bets in there, so check that out. Members breaking down tennis, college football. Just such a great community in Discord we have. No tilt, people cheering each other on, awesome screenshots. It's really enjoyable to be in there. So if you do join, just another added benefit you have at SHIPITNation.com. $59 a month, going up to $69 a month, September 11th. The Blast Off bundle, $321, takes you to $53 a month for the next 6 months. NBA, NHL will be going in that time. And then $599 a year gets you $49 a month. Best deal out there. All right, Nate, a couple games left on this slate. Not too much interest for me. We'll see about you. Colorado Rockies, Arizona Diamondbacks, Kyle Freeland, Brandon Pfaadt on the mound. 9 total. Pfaadt going to be one of the most popular pitchers. If you do want to get some leverage, the Rockies do give you that. No thank you to me, though. 10-game slates. You can play better spots elsewhere. They're going to be low owned. The D-backs against Freeland, though, man. What? Freeland just pitched a good game in Coors against the Chalk Braves, or at least good enough. D-backs not now. Freeland's on the road. You do prefer Freeland at home. You always do mention that, Nades. These D-backs, if the lineup's not, the lineup is out, unfortunately. I was hoping it would be out pretty late. I like some of these D-backs, though. Corbin Carroll's in the 7 hole against the lefty. All right. Pretty standard lineup, a lot of cheap pieces. I like these D-backs because I'm going to spend up for some pitching. A lot of cheap pieces in this order. Prefer the righties, of course. Christian Walker, one of my favorite bats. Emmanuel Rivera in the 2-hole. Third base eligible, 2.8K. Sign me up for the D-backs for sure. No Rockies.
Yeah, D-backs are my third favorite stack in the slate, I think, behind the Cubs, behind the Braves. Christian Walker, I mean, today's slate's just built around first base. It feels like Mountcastle, Alonso, Christian Walker, Matt Olson. I mean, the list goes on and on. So Christian Walker, absolutely elite play. I mean, Kyle Freeland, I bring it up all the time. Free money Freeland at home. Anytime he's playing on the road, you stack against him. I mean, looking at this, 9 hits, 7 hits, 8 hits, 6 hits, 8 hits, 3 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs. It's not crazy, but I mean, two home runs, 1 home run, 2 home runs. He's given up a home run in all of his last 5 games on the road. So going to be home run hunting. I prefer the D-backs a little bit more as a mini stack then because he has limited overall run support, but the runs when they come are 14-point ABs there with one swing of the bat. So give me Christian Walker, give me Lourdes Gurriel, give me Tommy Pham. I love those three right in the heart of that lineup, 3,500, 4,500, 3,800. All righties, which you want righties against Freeland. So, yeah, give me these D-backs. I like them. I prefer the righties. Nick Ahmed, I don't think is the craziest punt shortstop play there. He's won me a lot of money over the years because nobody plays that donkey. But sometimes he finds some power stroke and can get the job done. 2,300 at a weak position, I don't think is the craziest play there. But yeah, definitely like these D-backs.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like the D-backs too. Like the most popular would probably be Tommy Pham, maybe something like that. So maybe leave Pham out, get a little lower owned even on these D-back, or even with the 5-man stack. They're still not.
I see Evan Longoria batting fifth at 2,900. I love him quite a bit too. So that makes me like this lineup even more because 2 through 6 are all righties, all super cheap.
The problem is Rivera's there at 2.8. Not even a problem. It's just you got to get Rivera or Longo right, or you just play none, and then you get even a little more difference. So yeah, a lot of ways to go in that Arizona lineup. Best deal out there, Line Star. Kills all y'all. Line Star, we're partnering with Line Star. We got Line Steer's ownership over here at SHIPITNation.com. So, yep, Line Star, no bad word to say about anybody out there. But Line Star, for sure, our partner, helps us out with ownership. So, they do have a great deal indeed. We got 2 games left on this slate. Toronto Blue Jays, Oakland Athletics, Chris Bassett, Ken Waldichuk on the mound. 65 degrees to 70 degrees in Oakland. I like Bassett. And I do not like playing – the Blue Jays just have done nothing for me. I don't like playing bats in Oakland. I'd rather punt with Waldichuk than I would play the Blue Jays. So, yeah, no thanks to me for bats in this one. What do you see?
Yeah, no, real quick, David, no, we appreciate that. Line Star is one of our partners. Line Star's got a great product. I use Line Star stuff as well. They're great.
Yeah.
That's why we partner with Great. And, hey, look, it's not us against everyone in this industry. We came in at a price point that we want to make affordable to everyone, give them the tools to still have success with DFS, whether we're an add-on service or your one-stop shop. I mean, we're not bashing anyone, and that's why we make partnerships with other great companies like Line Star out there. So we appreciate you supporting them. But breaking down this game, yeah, Blue Jays, Athletics, really not a great park, not great weather. Never really played the Blue Jays all season long too much outside of some one-offs. I mean, Bo Bichette there a little bit when he was on a tear, but he's not in this projected lineup, I don't think. I just off this game completely. I think Waldichuk's a fine punt pitcher on the slate at his salary. And, yeah, I like better hitting weather on the slate. So X for me.
We got 1 game left. Yeah, let's try and make a push to 100. We'd appreciate that. We're going to give top 3 stacks, low-ish owned pitcher. And then we'll give you the dong of the day before we get on out of here. All the content rolling up at SHIPITNation.com. Last game, Nate's heading to San Diego, Philadelphia Phillies, San Diego Padres. Michael Lorenzen taking on Pedro Avila, and then the bullpen behind for the Padres. 70 degrees in San Diego. I have more interest on the Padres side. I mean, the Padres are rolling out Avila for a couple innings, then the bullpen, which is solid. So I just don't love picking on that. Schwarber, Turner, Bryce, like they're all expensive. No interest really in the Phillies for me. The Padres against Lorenzen, prefer the lefties. Soto, very interesting. No one's really going to play him. Very expensive, though. I think just for a really low ownership, a late-night hammer, you can eat chalk at pitching, play them to get different that way. Definitely won't crack my top 3 by any means, but, yeah, I think they're fine, I guess. What about you?
Yeah, I'm under on this game. I mean, Lorenzen is a fly ball guy, but I just like other spots better, to be honest. I don't think the Padres are the craziest. Prefer the 2 lefties. Trent Grisham, I think, is definitely a great one-off there because he struggles right around 50% fly ball rate. Lorenzen is over the last month to the left side of the plate. Grisham does have some power there at 2,800, so I think he's fine. But outside of that, yeah, not a ton of interest in this game.
There we go, Nades. Great work, as always. 10-game slates. We'll talk top 3 stacks on the slates. I'm going to say the game stack of KC and the White Sox, I think, is very interesting. Will be under-owned. I'll definitely be overweight on that. I'll say top 4 stack because I do like the Mets against Corbin. I'm going to eat some of that chalk. And then I'm going to say the Diamondbacks. So those are my 4. So who are your 4?
Yeah, I got the Braves number 1, Cubs number 2, D-backs 3 for me, and then the Royals are 4th for me. I'm going back on that Royals train.
All right, let's get to low-ish owned pitcher. Man, I definitely admit I like the chalk at pitching today. It's tough for me. Get a little different. I'll go all the way down if I go anywhere. Ken Waldichuk, just get a completely different build. Not even completely different build because people are going to go Fott, but you get a little more savings. If Fott fails, Waldichuk even gets 3 points less, something like that. You survived. You got a little different build there. I'll go Waldichuk, but I will admit for sure the Coles, the Bassetts, and Fott are my favorite 3 pitchers for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go $300 more than probably the third or fourth highest owned pitcher on the slate. I'm going Brady Singer out in that Kansas City game against your game stack there. I'm seeing sub 10% ownership on him. He's been incredible at home. Not afraid of this, especially with no Luis Robert now in this lineup. Give me Brady Singer to post a big one here today.
I like it. Nades, cap it off for us, man. Give us the dong of the day. Help the people just like you did yesterday.
Well, I'll let you go first because I wasn't prepared yet. I was looking at the pitcher stuff. I guess
MJ Melendez for the Kansas City Royals, 3.4K. MJ Melendez goes deep today.
All right, there it is. Well, I'm going to go to the Braves then. I'm going to go the lefty. I'm going 4K flat at the outfield position. Eddie Rosario gets back on the home run train here tonight. Then I'm giving the people the freest of the free. It's Pete Alonso against Patrick Corbin. He's going to get ownership, but I told you how I'm going to play these guys. I'm going to do the Mets as a mini stack, a little Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, but I'd be shocked if Mr. Alonso does not hit a bomb here tonight against Corbin.
I love it. Like I said, great stuff as always. And look at that shirt, SHIPIT Nation. We got merchandise over here as well. Continuing to innovate, continuing to grow. Cannot wait for the NFL season, but we still got you covered. Nate's going to be on here almost every single day, Monday through Friday, breaking down MLB, taking you through the regular season. Of course, we got you covered for NFL. 2 more sleeps, baby. MMA still going on this week, pay-per-view. So much money to be made. The best time of the year. Head over to ShipItNation.com. Blast off bundle 321, $321, $53 a month. You will not regret it. Get in the Discord. I am so pumped, Nades. Let's make some money tonight, though. Let's see some SHIPIT Nation logos up top for Nadesify. I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.